And we are back. It's another Thursday evening, although it is about 30 minutes earlier than normal. Every now and then things happen, and we need to make adjustments. So that's what's going on today. But for those of you who are here now live with us, I appreciate you very much. My name is Robin Fahmy, and I am your host of this particular podcast, which is all about solar energy. It's we're here to educate homeowners about solar energy. We want you to have a better understanding of what solar energy is, what it is not. Is it something that would be good for you and your family and your home? Is your home even right for solar? There are a lot of factors that you have to consider when you are making a decision to transition your home energy use to solar energy. So that's what we're all about here, is helping you to understand. Really, what we want to do is make you smarter as the homeowner. We want you to be smarter and able to interpret information about solar energy and interpret it correctly, so that when you're in those conversations with sales reps or on the phone with someone who's dialed your number and you answered and they're talking about solar, we want it to be an intelligent, intellectual, two-way conversation, not them just drilling you and trying to qualify you in your home and make a sale. We want you to have some say in that. So that's why we are here another Thursday evening to talk about solar energy and what that really means for you. Solar Logics EDU is our company, and we are a solar energy education company and sales, which means we educate you first. And then if you feel like you are knowledgeable enough, equipped enough to make that decision, you can buy from us because we do sell solar as well. Or if you choose to buy from someone else, the key is you know enough to make a truly informed decision. And that's what it's all about. So, again, we are here every Thursday, usually at 6:30, from 6:30 to 7:30, but every now and then the time may adjust up or down just a little bit. Like it did today, you can reach us by phone, 214-497-7440. Now, just know that if you call while we are live, I will take the call and you will be a live caller discussing something with me. That something more than likely will be solar, but you may have another question. And if you do, that is absolutely fine, because that's what we're here for. We are here for the conversation. Okay, and we're live on Facebook, YouTube. We are audio only on iHeartRadio and Be Humble, Stay Humble Network. Those are the places that you can find us. We hope that you are finding the information here interesting and that you will share. Well, if there's a like and subscribe button on YouTube, Facebook, I don't know what you do, but let them know that you like me. So hit that like and subscribe button and tell somebody, because this podcast is becoming very popular. Now, you all know that winter is just about over. Um, the Easter snap still has a possibility to bring some cold in, and it's possible that we may have, a cold snap, as they say, which means that, we may have to turn the heat up again or get snug. But in just a few weeks, we will be going into spring and, of course, then summer. When that happens, you know what happens. The electricity bills start to creep up and up and up. And then people start to complain about high electricity bills. And that is one of the main objectives of solar, is to help lower your electricity bill, either lower and or possibly eliminate that bill. That's what it is. What's the pain point? The pain point is I am sick and tired of paying these high electricity bills. And how do you get out of that? Well, now you're starting to hear advertisements everywhere. They're on your television, they're all over social media. When you're listening to the radio in your car, it's everywhere. Solar, solar, solar. Commercials will just blatantly tell you that it's free, but don't be fooled by that. It is not free. What's going on is there's no out of pocket cost up front. Okay, meaning that if you qualify, if you fill out an application with a solar sales rep, a solar company, and they run your credit, if your credit score usually is a 650 or above, then you're going to qualify for solar. And if you qualify, then you don't have to come out of your pocket with money for anything. So what happens is they will use that concept of free to get your attention. And if you believe it's free, then you buy into it. But believe me, it is not free at all. And we don't want you to get caught up into a finance contract and not really understand what has happened to you. Now, it is happening every day. So let me just start with, and I say start with, I've already started. Anytime you talk to me about solar, I mean, I come alive and I jump in wherever we are. It doesn't even matter. It's like I can spin on a dime and talk about it, discuss it, share, help you understand it. That's just what I do. It is definitely one of my passions. And when I got into solar, of course, I thought that I was going to come out here and sell solar and make a bunch of money, because there is good money in selling solar, especially for people who are honest and people who really want to help homeowners understand solar and be able to benefit from what it's really all about. But no, no, that's not what happened to me. What happened to me is after I got out here to sell solar, I found out that, the universe just opened up a lane for me. Nobody else is in my lane. I am in my own lane. And in this lane, the highlight is education, because so many people are being scammed and taken advantage of by solar companies and solar sales reps, that I'm out here thinking that, oh, I'm going to make sales. But what I'm finding and running into is people who need help. And for some reason, it's like I'm a magnet for those people. They find me. And when they find me, thank God, I'm able to help. And the way that I am able to help, think about it like this. And I'm going to start with this little story. because it's very important for those of you who have elderly parents, aunts, uncles, friends, neighbors, anybody, excuse me, check in on them. Check in on them because just like you and just like me, they get the phone calls too. Okay. And excuse me, they get the phone calls and they get the knocks on their doors. And elderly people are lonely. So when somebody knocks on the door, for them, that's company. And I'm getting choked. That's company. And they want that company because why? We're all human beings, and human beings thrive on companionship. And so someone will knock on their door, they will be friendly to them. And our elderly parents, friends, aunts, and uncles will buy into that. And I am going to have to excuse myself for just a moment. I'll be right back. Alrighty, I think I'm hot. But so our parents, whoever that elderly person is, will, they'll open their door, they will invite these people in, and they'll come in and they will actually sell them solar. It is happening. I get calls quite often with situations where a solar sales rep has come to the door and told the elderly person that the government is giving solar panels away free to seniors, to senior citizens. Okay, it's a free program. They don't have to pay for anything. And what's happening is they are actually completing the application for that person. And sometimes they're using not the complete social, but for sure they will have the last four. They will have a false email address and they will have the correct name of the bank, but not the correct account number. So that's enough information to complete an application. And once that application is complete, then it's approved. When it's approved, what happens? Now credit has been extended, and our elderly parents, friends, aunts, and uncles, they're trapped and they will have to pay for this solar for 25, 30 years. Can you get involved and kind of correct that situation? Well, sometimes you can. Um, and if you can, you need to, because it is happening every day. It's not a joke. So you all be careful and check on your elderly parents, friends, aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers. Check on them. Okay. So this is very real. Saying all that to say that I do sell solar, but education is first. Solar Logics EDU is a solar energy education company first and sales organization. So after we've talked about it and after I've explained it, and now you really understand it, you're excited about it, and you really believe that solar can benefit you, then hopefully you're going to buy it from me. You're going to buy it from me. And that's just how we give and take, ebb and flow. We make exchanges in life like that. So, but the education is key. Another situation. I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area, DeSoto specifically. and I am able to travel throughout the state of Texas, any state. I can travel across the country educating on solar. However, my sales territory market is Texas specifically. And as we are educating, like I said, people with problems are finding me. That's the lane that has been opened up for me to be a solar energy educator. And in order for me to find success in this lane, then there have to be people to help and educate. Now, who do we educate? We educate homeowners because homeowners are the target market for solar panels. They want to put the panels on your roof to help lower your electricity bill. So the homeowner, anybody who owns a home, is the right fit customer for solar. Okay. But that same homeowner is my target as well because I want you to be educated. I want you to know enough about solar so when the companies and the sales reps get to you, you are as smart as they are, and you can ask questions that will kind of equalize that buying experience. It's not just one sided. So that's what it's all about. We have what I'm calling rogue solar installers. Those are the people who actually come and install the panels on your home. They are out here a dime a dozen making money. Now, I want you all to be clear and be aware. Sometimes the person who knocks on your door to actually sell the solar, you talk to this person, they tell you about who they are, they may or may not tell you about the company that they're with. Sometimes they are independent contractors, meaning that they are not the company that is actually going to install the panels on your roof, but they are selling it to you. Once the deal is signed, then they will give your order over to an installation company. That installation company will then show up and install the panels on your roof. Okay, so now you've gone from one person to another person, and you have the what is it? The finance company that's involved as well. But this third party installer may contend or pretend or say that they have nothing to do with the salesperson. So whatever that salesperson promised you, they are not going to honor it. Well, that doesn't even make sense. How are you going to be in business with someone and agree to fulfill the order, but not be in business with them and be totally separate? But the one thing that you all have in common is me, the customer. And now I'm kind of left out in the cold because the salesperson is now out of the picture and the installer really doesn't want to give me what I believed I was getting. How do you avoid some of these issues? Well, a few ways. When you have people in your neighborhood knocking on your door, you answer the door. I want you to ask them if they have a solicitor's permit. Do they have a permit from whatever city you're in? Do they have a permit to be in the neighborhood knocking on doors? That is something that they're all supposed to have. I don't care if they're selling doors, windows, solar panels, they could be selling ice cream or meat, anything. they are still supposed to have a solicitor's permit. Most homeowners would never ask that question because you don't know that that is something that they should have. Ask to see the solicitor's permit. If they don't have it and you still want to talk to them about whatever it is that they're selling, no problem. Have at it, have the conversation. That's you making a decision to have that conversation. So that's good. But before you have that conversation, still ask to see their personal ID and their company ID. If they don't have company ID, then ask for a business card. Get something that will prove that you actually had a conversation and interaction with this person or these people. Okay. It's just like if it was a murder mystery, and you're going out to solve it, you're going to be looking for all the clues that will help you put things together. It's a puzzle. So you would actually be helping yourself, making sure that you don't get scammed because you're asking for identification. Because they don't want to show it to you if they're not honest. So ask for that ID. Then even before you start talking about solar, the product or whatever, ask them how many other people in the neighborhood have they talked to? Have they sold their solar product to any of your neighbors? Okay. And then write that down. Keep that in your mind. Now, you all go ahead and have the conversation. Okay. Just go ahead and have the conversation. Let them talk to you, whatever. Now you are all excited. Okay. You are really excited about this solar. And you're deciding that you really want it because why? That electric bill is so high. I am just really tired of paying $500 a month every month. And then in the summer, it's $700 or $800. And then in the winter, when it's really cold, it's still $700 or $800. So you've got a lot of pain around paying this electric bill. And solar is being sold to you as the way to relieve that pain because it's going to help lower and or eliminate that large electric bill. And if it does that, that's what you want. Okay. So now the finance company has approved you. All of this happens in one night. When that salesperson leaves your house after having your signature on their contract, usually you are signing on an electronic device and you are signing in what they call DocuSign. So it's not a wet signature. It doesn't mean that you put a pen in your hand and you signed. You are signing an electronic device. So just know that anytime you sign an electronic device, your signature does not look like your signature. So if you want to dispute whether or not you signed it and you look at that and you go, oh, that's not my signature. But it is because it's electronic. It's not with a pen. It's not what they call a wet signature. So it's kind of difficult to dispute that because of the way you sign. But once they have that, the deal is done. Now, here's a real key. Before that person leaves your house, after signing, make sure that they have given you a form. And this form is titled 3-day right to cancel, 3-day notice of right to cancel. Because once you sign, you have 3 days from the date that you signed to cancel. So they're gone now, and you get to go to bed and you think about what you've done, and it's like, oh, I don't think I want that. If you think about what you've done and you don't want it, you change your mind, you have a right to what is called a cooling off period. So you don't want it. How do you get out of it? They should have left you with that piece of paper, 3-day notice of right to cancel. That piece of paper should have the instructions on it as to how you go about canceling. Usually, you just have to sign it and get it back to the company. But you have to make sure that you do that on or before the third day at midnight. So if you sign today, which is the 21st, you have the 22nd, the 23rd, and before midnight on the 24th, it has to be complete. So if you sign it on after midnight, it's really going into the fourth day. That's just the information you need to know. So don't ever allow a salesperson who is in your home selling you anything really, but we are talking specifically about solar. Don't let them leave without giving you that form, 3-day notice of right to cancel. Because, especially in solar, they will leave your home. You will not have a contract in hand because you signed electronically. They will tell you that they will email you the contract, but they may not email it to you immediately. If they don't get it to you immediately, then it could be 4, 5 days, or a week later. And by that time, it is too late for you to cancel. I have one situation where the customer signed the contract on September 30th and did not, listen to me, did not get a hard copy of the contract until January 16th of this year, 2024. So she signed the contract September 30th, 2023. She got the actual hard copy this year, January 16th, 2024. That's what? September, October, November, December, January. 4 months later. 4 months. That is unacceptable. And on top of that, the finance company, not the finance company, but the solar installation company had panels on her house within 5 days. She signed the contract on September 30th. The panels were on her rooftop on October 5th. And guess what? They also did it without a permit. We believe that when these companies tell us that they will do everything for us, oh, we'll get the permit for you, we will check with your HOA, we'll make sure that everything that you need is in place. But no, they are not doing it. So again, it's up to you. When that truck shows up in your driveway with panels ready to install on your roof, ask to see the permit. Ask for it. If they don't have that permit, send them away. And then when you send them away because they don't have a permit, get on the phone, call your finance company, and let them know what's going on. So that if it gets to a point where, months have passed and they still don't have a permit, that may be your way out. Some people are in situations with solar panels where they believe that they are totally stuck And what I mean by that is the installer put the panels up, but it wasn't a very good experience. And um, you really don't want them because they didn't tell you the truth or whatever. There are lots of reasons that would cause you to want to cancel the deal. If you cannot, if you cannot get the finance company and the solar installation company to be reasonable with you do still have a few other options. And that's why you need to call me, Robin Fahmy, 214-497-7440. If you, your friends, your family, if you know of anyone who could benefit from the information that I am sharing about solar energy, have them call me because uh, people don't usually share the way that I am sharing about solar because the way that I share could take money out of my pocket. You know, maybe there's a deal that I have, and if it's not right, then it's not right. And what I mean by that is if there is a reason that I need to share something with you, and that means that, it's going to cancel the deal, then it will just cancel the deal because my integrity, the way I'm built, will not allow me to steal from you. And that's what a lot of these solar companies are doing. They are stealing from you. So, and sometimes the companies, they're in it together. I'm not calling any names. I'm just kind of giving you an overview of what happens and what really goes on behind the scenes. You know nothing about it. It's like the Wizard of Oz. Who's behind the curtain and what are they doing back there? You're out here and all you see is what shows up at your door or what you hear on the phone. But they do have some ulterior motives when it comes to, making that sale because what did I say at first? The money is doggone good. I'm not going to lie to you. It's good money, but I love it for a different reason. Not that I am not interested in making the money because I am. I do very well, but I am more interested in teaching you how to be smarter about solar energy. And so, I have two different avenues. I have sponsors who sponsor education classes so that I can be out there in the community. Pretty soon in this Dallas Fort Worth market, you will see you will start to see billboards with my name and my picture. Okay. My picture will be there. And when you're driving down the freeway or you're driving in your neighborhood, you're going to go, who's that girl? And what is she doing? Solar Logics. You're going to go, well, let's call and see what that's about. And then what I will do is invite you to a class. Okay. And the classes will be free to you, the homeowner. Okay. Because we need as many homeowners in these classes learning about how to interpret information about solar correctly. We need you. So once we have a good flow of people who understand, then you will go out and you will tell more and more and more people. And now what will happen is these solar companies, they'll have to just straighten up and fly right. They'll have to do the right thing. They won't be able to come and take advantage of our elderly parents and us. They just won't be able to do it because why? You will have been um, educated and you will understand the language, because everything has its own language. Music has its own language. For people who are musicians, they can hear a drum beat. That drum beat keeps the rhythm, and wherever that artist, that whether they're a group, a quintet, um a one piece accompanying someone who's singing, they understand the language, which means that they can follow each other. They can predict and anticipate what each other is going to do. And they make adjustments all the time when they're performing that we don't even know. We're just enjoying the groove. There you go. Got it. Just enjoying the groove. Okay. And that's their job, is to make sure that there is no line of demarcation between changes, transitions in the music. They have to know, but everything has its own language. And solar energy, the concept of solar has its own language. And that's what I am teaching you, is how to understand the concept of solar, the language that it's taught in, spoken in, and bought in. That's more important than anything, because they want your dollars. Okay. And so they have ways of using even phrases that will trigger you to want to buy it, whether it's right for you or not. They will say something that will trigger you, and you'll go, oh, yeah, right. Okay. And then the next thing you know, you're like, okay, let's do it. But wait a minute, not so fast. Do you know everything that you need to know? No, you don't, because you haven't been to my class. Okay. Now, again, I am, as you know, your host here every Thursday, 6:30 to 7:30. My name is, say it with me, Robin Fahmy, Solar Logics EDU. Solar Logics EDU is a solar energy education company and sales organization. That's what you need to know. Okay. So get that in your head. And guess what? I'm fired up and ready to go. I am in the communities helping people who have been harmed by solar companies, and they need help to right these situations. And the reason that I am able to help is because I understand the language, and I am able to recreate the details of how maybe you got into this bind when you purchase solar, how you got into the bind. So when we recreate the details, then I can look and say, okay, did they do this? Did they do that? Okay, come on down here. Did they do this? Well, let's look at this. And when we put everything back in order, we can see the mistakes that they made, intentional or not. But those things will usually work in your favor. So, you don't have to be stuck. We can work it out. So that's what it's all about. Oh, funny fella, remember that? This what it's all about. Funny Nella, punching Nella. I forget it, but anyway, I just had a moment. Y'all forgive me for that. So, if anyone is listening and you have a comment, or you'd like to call, you can do that right now, 214-497-7440. And let's see if I am forgetting anything. Here pretty soon, even though I'm here with the podcast every Thursday, um, pretty soon you'll be able to follow me on YouTube and IG. more frequently. I'll be there more frequently doing some other things. But I'm still soaking it up, getting my feet wet, figuring it out. And the beauty of it is that my brain, just like your brain, is designed to solve problems. And when we solve the problems, we write the answers. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay. Oh, now the last thing I'll talk about real quickly. Another way that you get enticed is by the 30% tax credit. So when they come in to sell you solar, you'll look at the cost and it's expensive. Now, I'm not going to tell you that these panels are cheap, inexpensive, whatever word you want to use for that. I'm not going to tell you that. But I will tell you that no two systems are the same. What I mean by that is every household is different. Every household uses a different amount of kilowatts. Like the kilowatts that I use in my home are probably different than you use. So, as a solar professional, my job is to make sure that the system that I designed for you is going to produce the amount of energy, at least that you're using right now. That system that I provide for you is going to do at least that. Hopefully, it's going to provide a little bit more. So you will be offset a little bit more than 100%. And if that's the case, then it is possible that your bill may be totally eliminated. But when you are presented with the cost, you may think, oh, wow, that's a heavy bill. But then you got 30% that will come off. So if the bill is $40,000, then you'll multiply that by 30% and whatever that is. I'm not a quick math study, but whatever that is, what they'll tell you is that the government is going to give you this tax credit. And when you get that tax credit, you can pay your loan down by that amount. Let's just say it's $8,000, and if your system is $40,000, and then you get 8,000 that you put on it after 18 months. So then your system really turns out to be more like 32,000. But you've got finance charges on top of that. So it's going to always be more than they tell you that it is. But what should not be happening is finance companies really should not be spending that tax credit for you. And what I mean by that is let the price be the price. And whatever your monthly payment is, let that be. You can file your taxes and then you will know if you're going to, how much of that you're going to get. Usually, you're never going to get that cash money in your hands because it's a credit. What that means is that if you owe money at the end of the year to the government when you pay your taxes, then that credit is sitting over there and they will pull whatever you owe from that credit until you have used it up. Usually, the credit will roll over for some people say 5 years, some people say 10. I'm not really sure about that. I can find out. But yeah, they make you think that you're going to get the money in your hand. And I'm here to tell you that you need to talk to your tax person, let them know what you're doing, and ask about that. Because usually, the average person who is the target market that's actually making these purchases don't get the money in hand. Okay? So just know that. Let's see. Anything else? All right. Well, I want to thank you all for listening. What I have noticed is right now, when we come live, There may not be a large audience listening like right now, but what I am seeing is that you all are going back and you're listening, after the live is over, and that is becoming phenomenal. Thank you so much for the views because it's encouraging to me, and it keeps me coming back. It keeps me wanting to be better and better and better. So I thank you for that. And keep in mind that you're going to start seeing more solar out there in your neighborhoods. Roofs everywhere eventually will have solar on them. But right now, we're still in a transition period and they're still getting it right. So just know that solar panels are coming to a roof near you. Um, I don't have anything more tonight. I don't. So I am going to get ready to bid you good night. Again, you can go to my website, solarlogicsedu.com, and that Logix is Logexs, solarlogicsedu.com. That's the website, and you can take a look at us over there and see what we're up to and the fact that we really are um, a true sales company. Um, yeah, you can do that. You can always call me 214-497-7440. And that's just about it. So, what I want you to do is stay fired up and ready to go because I am. All righty. See y'all later. Bye.